All right, so welcome back. Unbox, you know who I am. You prefer if Allie was here, but that's never gonna happen, so shut up. So Modern Horizons 3, it is new, it's here. I'm actually a full case in already, but I had a ton of mic issues and some visual issues and whatnot, so I went back, I looked at the videos, they looked like ass. I nuked them. That being said, we had some really cool pulls out of the first one. So we got a textured foil Solitude from the special guest. We have a textured Tameo, which I thought was really cool as well. And then I got something here that apparently is going to be like one of the rarest cards to open, or the hardest cards to open. I have a serialized, see if I can get it to focus on him, 124 Ulamog, the Defiler. Bossman and I were doing some math, and he basically said that, looking at crunchy numbers and whatnot, serialized cards are so hard to get out of this set that it's like 1 out of almost every 16 inner cases. So for those of you who don't know, there's a case which has 6 booster boxes in it. Those cases are called inner cases, and then those come in a master case, which is a set of 4 of those. Apparently, so basically 1 out of every 4 master cases has a serialized card, is like the distribution number on it. At least that's a speculation on numbers right now. Doing the math on like 1 in X cards, and X cards is so many packs, and so many packs ends up being a case. It's like 15.8 cases. So basically 1 out of every 4 master cases, or there's a serialized card in out of every 4 master cases. And we opened one, which I think it's hilarious that not only are they Eldrazi, but I think mathematically I've cast more Ulamogs than probably any other player in Florida, just because I've been playing Tron for so friggin' long. And I cast some Ulamogs in like Eldrazi Ramp and whatnot, in like Standard. And I've cast some Ulamogs in Pioneer even. So I think that's hilarious that the luck goes to me. Unfortunately, there's no way to really price those right now, and they're super hard to come by. So for all I know, this Ulamog just paid for both master cases. Who knows? It's a lot. That being said, when we switch over here to the card tray, you can see there's a bunch of stuff in here because I was opening stuff all day today. Got some other cool stuff: Ugin's Labyrinth, Shifting Woodland, some Phyrexian Towers, a slew of fetch lands. There is no lack of fetch lands in the product. You're going to open some fetch lands. People are going to have fetch lands. It's very reminiscent of Modern Horizons 2. Fetches are everywhere. I think there was some cool stuff in the multicolor. There's a Flage or Fallage or whatever his name is. Psychic Frog. Ulek. Some of these guys from the Commander decks and whatnot. We got this frame back from Commander Masters, stuff like that. Like there's some stuff in here, and then Expressive Iteration. You got a couple of more Eldrazi Titans here in the colorless stuff. These are really cool. Some other full arts and whatnot. All the medallions look really cool in full art. They are just, in person, they look even better than they do in pictures and whatnot and in video. So there's that. Yeah. We got a couple of the flip walkers and whatnot. There's a grist here. Another grist. Primal Prayers, which is a lot of people are talking about. The Tarmogoyf nests, which I'm super stoked for. I want to play that in Legacy and just play like a lands build and just launch Goyfs out at people. Some wheels, stuff like that. We got a retro foil Ragavan, Lelias, Ashlings, Wheel of Protections, some Pyrogoyfs. We got a Ral foil, which was really cool. The art on it looks really good. Yeah, some other stuff here. Sorin, Nether Goyf, couple Cricks, whatever this guy is. Some Cathodian Nightmares, Dismember, Secret Guest, Witch Member. Foil Retro, Toxic Deluge, some Necro Dominances and stuff like that. Crabs, more Sorins, Flares, Retro Grief. This dude, Mutated Cultist, I'm stoked to build an Eldrazi Depths deck in Legacy and fire that guy off of like a... We were just talking about it while I was running Modern. Turn 1 Dark Depths, Moxed Diamond, Diamond for Black, Ritual, cast the Cultist, remove all the counters off of the Dark Depths, cast like a Desolation Twin or an Oblivion Sower, or Ulamog is cool, but like Ulamog you want to be on the draw if you're going to do it so that you don't have to hit your own permanents because you have to target 2 things. Blue, couple flares, Volatile Stormdrake, Subtleties, Strict Serenades, Kappas. Everybody's stoked for Kappa Cannoneers. I think there's a foil retro Kappa in here somewhere. Some Harbingers. There's the foil retro Kappa. More Strict Serenades, a copy land. And then over into white, we got a couple of things. Orm's Chant, Philias, some Esper Sentinels. The Wrath of the Skies full arts look pretty cool. White Orchids, Recruiter of the Guards, bunch of Guide of the Souls. Yeah, just overall, Ajani's, 2 Ajani's. Maybe there's a 3rd Ajani in here. Ocelotl Pride, full art foil. Yeah, there's another Ajani. Retro Solitude. So, like, overall, a lot of good stuff opened up out of the first case. And that being said, we're going to crack into the second case here. I made sure that I had plenty of time after Modern to rip this second case just because I basically got aggravated with the mic and everything that was going on earlier today and was just like, screw it, there's too many issues, there's going to be too much chopping and cutting and editing and all kinds of stuff like that in order to make a good video out of this. So I figured I would just save myself the headache, you guys the headache of having to watch this mismatched, jumbled situation with the videos and whatnot, and I would just do a second box break, or a second case break for you guys on the second case. You guys don't get to watch both cases, but one good case opening is better than 2 mediocre case openings, at least in my opinion. That being said, let me move this out of the way so I don't hit the mouse and turn the stream off for some reason. And we'll just get cracked into it. This was something that happened. We ended up getting 2 damaged cards. They weren't in the same pack. It's an Estrid's Invocation, which I don't think it's going to be a very big deal that it's damaged, but it's got some damage here and here, and then a Cephalid Coliseum that's just really trashed right here through the text box. And I mean, it's just unfortunate, but like the quality control on WotC is just gone to hell. People think that it's my fault because I open packs the way that I do. We'll talk about a couple of the commons and uncommons when I kind of think that it's necessary to do so, but for the most part, there's not a lot of them that it's like, man, I'm so really glad that this is here. Crick, Deserted or Desert Warfare, Archway of Invasion, Emperor of Bones. I think this card's really good. I think this is a sleeper of the set, just the playability of it. And then also, fun fact, Josh Haas, who did the art for this, is going to be at Oklahoma City Land Run in the end of July, which I will be at. It's a big legacy vintage event in Oklahoma. So I might pick up a set of Emperor Bones because I think it's going to be a cool card to brew around, and I think it's a good card overall. And then I'll get a chance to get them signed while I'm there. We'll fan through these common and uncommons. Move the basic out of the way. Invert Polarity. I think this card's going to end up being hilarious in competitive, whether it's CEDH or if it's 60 card play. I think it's going to cause some issues. Pearl Eel. Oh, we got a full art Volatile Stormdrake. There we go. A full art foil Shifting Woodland. I really like this card. I know that everybody's big thing about it is to try to hit Delirium and then cast, not cast, but become Omniscience with it. I think I could possibly play a single copy in Tron. Got these full art lands, Brain Surge, Jolted Awake, Urza's Incubator, very odd card to print into Modern. Dissa the Restless, we got another Goyf. I'm not high on Nether Goyf. I don't think it's going to be that impactful of a card. Shadow of the Second Sun, Flare of Cultivation. This, I think, is actually going to be a lot more of an issue than people think. I mean, so far we've had the blue free spells have been basically what we've expected. The green free spells have been kind of mid. Endurance was okay. Force of Vigor was really good. I think Flare of Cultivation is absolutely bust. The black free spells has just been Grief just being a house. And then, of course, we know that white and red free spells are basically just the elementals. I do think the red flare has got some playability to it, but time will tell. That's not where that goes. Power Balance, Exterminator, Magmark, White of the Reliquary, 6. We can talk about 6. Flooded Strand. I'll put the Flooded Strand there, and we'll talk about 6 real quick. So 6 has been described as Luris without all of the extra steps. And I think that's a good way to kind of quote it. Without all of the build restrictions that Luris is what you get out of 6. That being said, I don't know how impactful it's going to be on like Legacy and Vintage. I think it's going to be very impactful on Modern. Kozilek's Command, Razorfield Ripper, got a Pearl Medallion. We've got something behind this flare, but I don't know what it is. It is a Brea. Again, an interesting card to get printed into Modern. I don't think it's going to be very impactful. I think that this is basically a Commander reprinting that just they didn't want to put it in one of the decks. Monstrous Vortex. We'll talk about this enchantment real quick. I had a Ball Lightning deck prior to Hogak ruining my fun with Faithless Looting. I think I'm going to break this back out of the woodwork. It's going to be an odd deck to build because I won't be able to play any 1 and 2 drops in it. But being able to go Ball Lightning into basically Discover, which is basically going to be Cascade in the deck, into Lightning Skelemental, which will trigger to cast another Ball Lightning, which will trigger to cast another Lightning Skelemental or Bite Lightning or Groundbreaker, I think is going to be hilariously fun to do. Null Drifter, Infested Thrinax, Disruptor Flute, Retro Border Solitude, and Imscure. But yeah, that's my plans, and I'm sticking to it. Is I think I'm gonna do some crazy stuff with Monstrous Vortex. Decree of Justice getting downshifted is hilarious to me. It's still like one of the main win conditions in pre-modern. Got another Flooded Strand, and Aslask the Swelling Scourge. I don't know what it does, and it's got too much text to read it. Dreamtide Whale, White Orchid Phantom, Sowing Microspawn. This card's kind of cool. This is the Reap and Sow on a 3/3 Eldrazi. So I think that card's kind of cool. I don't think it's going to get any play. Amped Raptor. Everybody is high on that card. I think it's okay. That's where I'll leave that. Fight me in the comments. I don't care. Meltdown is fucking hilarious to have in a modern. Final Act. That's a commander card. Emerald Medallion. That's also a commander card, but it's legal in the format. Oh, look at it. We got an Ocelot Pride and a foil Full Art Solitude. We're doing pretty good on these. A little shifted. Let me know in the comments what decks you guys are getting impacted with playing all of the Modern Horizons 3 cards. Archway of Innovation, Tempt with Mayhem, Crab Abomination, another Ugin's Labyrinth, and a Fanatic of Roas. Yeah, you guys building new modern decks? Are you adding to existing modern decks? Do you not play modern and you're just excited for all the commander chaff that's in this fucking product? Because there's got to be commander in everything. Planes, Metastatic, Galvanic Discharge. We got a Ral, an Aurora Shifter, Strict Serenade, a White Orchid Phantom, a Flare of Denial Retro, Ripples of Undeath, Bismuth Mind Render, Ripples of Undeath, Flare of Duplication, and a Genku. Alright, we are 1 box down, 5 to go. Harbinger of the Seas, aka Magus of the Moist, Ulamog's Dreadsire. Maybe I'll cast one of these off of my free 10 mana spell. Wrath of the Skies, Warren Soul Trader. Try to keep my area as clean as possible as I'm doing this by continuing to smash everything and jam it in this Ultra Pro box that's behind me. It's going to be infinitely easier to do when there's less boxes on my desk. I say desk very loosely. This is a 4x8 folding table with all of my shit on it. Witch Enchanter. We'll talk about this real fast. 4 mana 2/2 Reclamation Sage, but it's the land on the back. This is easily going to replace all of the that mythic. The majority of these are uncommons are going to replace those mythics in formats like Legacy and Vintage for being able to pitch to Chromox for mana early and then also be a land when you need it to be a land. This is also notable because I think Humans hits a lot of the archetype on the Mono White Initiative in Legacy and Vintage, and you need to be able to... What the fuck is up with the... Oh, I was just being weird for a second. Yeah, I got dark with my arms there. Let's not do that. Ring light. Do your fucking job. Being able to cast this off of Caverns. Victimize this thing. Here we go. We got a foil Kappa Cannoneer. Eldrazi Confluence. This is one of the very few commander cards from the set that I'm actually stoked for, because I play a lot of colorless in Vintage and Legacy, and I think this card's going to be really, really good. Aether Revolt, Warren Soul Trader, Flare of Cultivation, Full Art Foil. So yeah. Yeah, those MDFCs that are lands on the back that bolt you in order to come to play untapped, being uncommons, is super good for cost. You no longer have to play these like $30 7-drop mythics that are not good in your deck. Psychic Frog, Localized Destruction, Sower, Microspawn, Fanatic of Roas, Foil, Retro, Solitude. Got a Brea with new art. Siege Gag Lieutenant, Genku, Primal Prayers, and Detective's Phoenix. Primal Prayers is that is the quote-unquote fixed to learn, and by fixed we mean grossly power crept. Grossly power crept. White of the Reliquary, Crom, Shifting Woodland, Windswept Heath. Oh my god. We have a foil textured Grief. That is a beauty of a hit. We're going to sleeve that up, put it down here with the Ulamog and the Solitude and the Tameo. That is, from what I can tell, the textured foils are 2 a case, because I got 2 in the last case. Null Elemental Blast. This card is great. Necrobloom, Broodmate Tyrant, Flooded Strand. We got a retro non-foil Ragavan. A full art foil Tameo. Flare of Malice, Polygoyf, Ruby Medallion, Ral, foil retro, Flooded Strand. It's hilarious to me that they did retro foils on Flooded Strands, seeing as how Flooded Strand and the rest of those fetches were all from Onslaught. which were only in retro border. Yeah. Fnatic Roas, Ulek, Crick, Phoenix, and an Ugins Labyrinth foil full art. I know people are hyped on the Ugins Labyrinth. Basically because I play Tron as my competitive deck in Modern, I have seen a ton of stuff that I think is good for the format. Cards that I think I'm going to play, but if they're not playable in Tron, I've kind of just said whatever to them because I don't need to buy them immediately. Also, I won't be playing Modern past like small events until the end of July, so I have plenty of time to wait for these cards to just balance out their price points. Like, I don't need to buy any of this stuff immediately, so like, while there is cool stuff to build around, it's nothing that is... Ooh, that is pretty. Ugins Binding, Wheel of Potential, and a 6. Like, 6 is a great card. I want to build a deck around 6. I want to play 6. I have no desire to pick 6 up right at this moment because I'm not going to play it in Tron. And I'm not going to play it in anything competitive because I play Tron competitively, and I'm not going to be playing competitive until almost August. So, Aether Spike, Consuming Corruption, Deserted Temple, odd card to print into Modern, Varrogoyf, Argent Dias, Toxic Deluge. Toxic Deluge, I think, is the best card that is an existing card that's been printed into Modern. I think Toxic Deluge is the number one. Guide of Souls. I think, yeah, if I had to pick one card that got shifted into Modern from previous sets, it's Toxic Deluge by miles. I don't even know of another card, and I mean, I'm holding a Priest of Titania right now, that got shifted into Modern that I think is going to impact playability and deck building more than Toxic Deluge. Emperor of Bones, Pathetic Anomaly, Shilgengar, Kalia. This, and then we got Ophelia. We'll talk real quick about this Kalia. This, again, just like the Brea, is 100% a card that will see zero constructed Modern play. Like, it just won't. It's not going to. You're not going to see a single thing that tries to cheat Kalia into play, or play Kalia on curve, or play some sort of competitive Kalia deck. It's just not going to happen. It is a commander card, and there's just a ton of commander cards that are getting printed in the set that legitimately are just being printed because they need to reprint the cards for commander players. Rampant Frogantua. I haven't even read this thing. Each player that loses the game. Alright, we're done. Orange Chant. We got our retro dress down and a full art Crick. Again, another card that did not need to be printed into Modern. Has no actual impact on Modern, in my opinion. Now, that being said, I will not be shocked or opposed to someone trying to figure out how to play some Jet Medallion, Crick, pay life but gain life, Storm, Mono Black-esque deck but I think we're grasping at straws. We're pulling in thin air there to actually see that happen. Man, I wish the first video didn't suck so bad and wasn't full of so many issues, because I would have loved for that to be part of this upload and you guys watch me get stoked when the Ulamog get opened. Maybe I'll try to find that clip and see if the audio and everything is good in it, and I can just use that clip and just chuck it in somewhere. Amphibian Downpour, Inversion Behemoth, Spring Heart Nantuko, Pearl Ear, and a Strix Serenade. We'll talk about Spring Heart real quick. The big thing people are talking about is this works in the Nadu, whatever deck. This guy, Nadu, because every time the land enters, it makes a dude, so that gives you something else to target and whatnot with the Shuko and keep going. The other thing that I've heard is with a Boreal Grazer. So you go turn one, a Boreal Grazer, trigger, put a bounce land into play, bounce your original land back to your hand, untap, use the 2 from the bounce land to bestow this guy on a Boreal Grazer, play your original land, trigger, you make a copy of a Boreal Grazer, put a land into play, trigger, put in a Boreal Grazer, trigger, put a land into play, trigger, making a Boreal Grazer, and keep going until you don't have any lands. It's good, and then again, it easily gasses out. If you have some sort of, if you can pair it up with some sort of effect in order to draw cards from your lands entering, then fantastic. But if you don't, then you're just gonna gas out on whatever's in your hand, and then you have a bunch of lands. Maybe you get to play something. Selective Obliteration, Emperor of Bones, Subtlety, and white. Custodian Nightmare. I'm waiting for somebody to break that card, but it hasn't happened yet. Recurring Nightmare is such a card that I feel like it's gonna have to get broken, but I don't know what parts need to work with it in order to break it. Maybe it's something else. Maybe the Souls guy has something to do with it. The Guide of Souls. Maybe this dude is the key, and I just haven't figured it out yet. Sylvan Safekeeper. That was a very odd print into Modern, but it's going to be fun. Lelia Roshin, which is basically Metalworker for X spells, and then Nadu Winged Wisdom. Yay, more 3-drop semi-cards that are going to be problematic in Modern. Meltdown. I know there's a bunch of people that are going to be stoked for foil meltdowns. Arena of Glory. Inversion Behemoth. Ripples of Undeath. Flare of Fortune. We got a foil retro Endurance. I think it's pretty. Primal Prayers. Tarmogoyf Nest. Kudo. Flare of Malice. Polluted Delta. have a huge stack of fetches, and I plan on buying more. I think it's the right time to buy. Kozilek's Unsailing. This card is busted. Every time you cast a creature or spell with mana value 7 or greater, you just draw 3 cards. So just having a free on-cast trigger Ancestral seems really good, especially when you are going to mainly play it with the new Frogmite, or the Frog Mirror, and then you're going to play it with Sojourners, and Thought Monitors, and Mirror Enforcers, and pay anywhere from 0 to 2 mana for your 7 drops, and just get a free Ancestral off of it. There's just Incubator, Angelic Aberration, another Shifting Wildwood, Cathodian Nightmare, and a Pearl Ear. I think I'm more stoked for commons and uncommons out of the set than I am rares or mythics. It That Heralds the End, I think could be good in Eldrazi, Flare, Disa the Restless, Roshin. That Roshin looks really cool with the anime art on it. Tameo, and the Necrobloom. Yeah. It That Heralds the End. All your Eldrazi's get bigger. Obtruse Appropriation, Localized Destruction, Winter Moon, Ashling, and a Disruption Flute. Here we go, Frog Mirror Enforcer, another 7-drop affinity creature to trigger your Kozilek's and get you a free Ancestral. Flage, or Flage. One day I'll figure out how to say this dude's name. I think this card's actually playable. You can play it in like Jeskai control. Granted, it's double red pips, but like if you played this in a Jeskai control as like your finisher, I could see that. I could also see it being played as like a 1 to a 2 of in Boros Burn. I mean, you play 1 more for your Lightning Helix. Would you pay 1 more for a Lightning Helix that you could reanimate later in the game to close it out? Buried Alive getting printed into Modern is hilarious. I think that gives Phoenix legs again. Funny enough, Phoenixes have legs. Well, birds, they all have legs, right? Whatever. No Elemental Blast. Card's bust. Card's great. I think the card's dope. I'm going to play the hell out of it. Winter Moon, Dissa, Pearl Medallion, Esper Sentinel, Emerald Medallion. A fucking Eldrazi token that's on the ground now with an angel on the back. I think No Elemental Blast is like one of the few cards that I'm going to pick up like now. And by now I mean like I don't need it per se, but it's an easy sideboard card for Tron, which I will play. Gluttonous Hellkite, Emerald Medallion, Dreamtide Whale. I've never even read the card. Akalia the Vast. And that does it for box 3 of case... Well, for you guys, case 1, but for me, case 2. So there's 3 boxes left over here. 4 if you count me. 5 if you count the one over here that I'm putting commons and uncommons into. I'm going to cut all these cellophanes up on these boxes. I'm sure that you guys will see plenty of more box openings because other people will open boxes for other channels. And then if you're following him, I hope you are, because if you like breaks and you like magic, J. Cole the Wizard on TikTok is one of my great friends, one of the homies. We travel to major events and whatnot together and roll out to events and stuff, so I like to shout him out when I rip videos so that people can watch him rip. You sometimes can see me in the backgrounds of his videos because he likes to come and rip at the shop here, and then I kind of tell him what cards are worth what. We got an Eldrazi, localized, a Winter Moon. We got a foil wooded, or non-foil Bullart Wooded Foothills, and an etched Brea. But yeah, J. Cole the Wizard on TikTok. Go check him out. He likes to rip stuff. Every once in a while you'll see a wild potato in his video. Potato is his cat, my nephew. A Meltdown. We got a Snow-Covered Retro Waste, Flare of Denial, Siege Gang Lieutenant, the Necro Bloom, Bloodstained Mire, and a Nadu. Fun fact about the Snow-Covered Wastes. They said that they did this in order to finish the snow cycle so that there would be snow everythings. I think it's more them telling us that there's a second fucking Eldrazi winter coming. I don't know about you, but the Phyrexians are gone, and we need a new menace in the multiverse. Bring the Eldrazi back. Ophidomancer, Broodmate Tyrant, Invoke Polarity, Necrodominance, Kalia of the Goddamn Vast, Commander Chaff. Come on. Which one of these boxes is going to have our other textured foil in it? Echoes of Eternity. I don't think that card is playable. Don't ask me if it is, because it's not, in my opinion. It's just, it's too much mana to do too little. I mean, I'm the Tron guy, and I have a lot of mana, and a lot of it's disposable, but, like, I'm not going to cast this on turn 3 for 6 mana, and then I'm going to play a star and get a second one? It's not worth it. Polygoyf, Sapphire Medallion, Imscure, Foil Retro Subtlety. Elemental Blast, Tireless Provisioner, Eldrazi Linebreaker. I think this card is going to be grossly playable. Target creature you control gets haste and +X+O, where X is the number of Eldrazi you control. You could get very out of hand. Spawnbed Protector. I have no idea what this fucking card does. 6/8 for 7. At the beginning of your end step, return up to 1 target Eldrazi creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Create 2 1/1 Eldrazi creature tokens with sacrifice it. Well, all the good Eldrazi shuffle, so fuck that card. Arena of Glory, Party Thrasher. We had a foil. Is this textured? It is. This is our other textured foil. This is the Johnny Nakatl Avenger in textured foil. You can tell the textured foils versus the regular full art foils. Let me get a sleeve for this guy. I'll try to find I think we have another Johnny over here. And I can show you them side by side so you can tell this like weird rainbow foil. So let's pull this back out of the sleeve real quick. You can tell these cards next to each other. Like this is the regular foil and then this is the textured foil with this like rainbow effect across it. It almost looks like a surge foil, but not quite. And it's foil on the whole image. Like this is foil on the whole image, but like it's muted on his body where this is not. And then of course on the back side, you can really tell because like everything that's not a Johnny has the textured foil on it that we all saw in, what was that set? Double Masters? Was it Double Masters? Yeah. Because we had the Ren and Sixes and whatnot with the textured foil. I think I have one of those. I think I have a textured foil Ren and Six, just like played it in like my Canadian Highlander deck or something just because I needed a 5th Ren and Six at one point in time. So that's the kind of person I am. 5 Ren and Sixes, yay! Shivering Dispatcher, Ruby Medallion. Ooh, there we go. We got an Emrakul, the World Anew. And a Winter Moon. So, we have most of those Eldrazi in the concept frame. I think we need an Ulamog. We have an Ulamog and foil, 2 Emrakuls, and then 1 Kozilek. Thief of Existence, Borrow Goyf, Invert Polarity, Flare of Duplication, Flare of Malice. I thought it was odd that they reintroduced the spawns, the O1s, instead of doing the 1-1s. What are the 1-1s called? They're not spawns, they're Eldrazi. Somebody's going to tell me in the comments if any of you even pay attention to the comments. God, this art looks really friggin' weird. They're not spawn. Scions. The Eldrazi Scions. Somebody got to it before I did. I'm sure of it. Or they were typing it right as I said it, and now they deleted their comment and decided instead to call me an asshole, which is fine. I only read your comments when they're mean anyway. Pearl Medallion, Pathetic Anomaly, Bloodstain, Windswept, Bloodstain. That was a good pack. 3 fetches? Hell yeah. That's what we call a sore dick pack, because you just can't beat it. Primal Prayers, Eldrazi Confluence, Shifting Woodland, Flare of Denial, Flare of Fortitude. And the last pack of box 4 of Case. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Basic, bullshit, bullshit. Genku, Omo, Roshin, Eldamri, Lelia. If I opened that pack personally, I would be pissed the fuck off. That pack was ass. All a bunch of Commander chaff cards. But, you know what? It's WotC. You gotta... Fucking everything's gotta be game pieces, and everything is Commander of the Gathering. Alright. 2 more boxes. I got a foul mouth. I don't give a shit. What are you gonna do about it? Happy, happy, happy. Genku, Koram, Philia, Aether Revolt, Emperor of Bones. One pack down. 11 to go. Capo, Cano, Near. Desert Warfare, Monumental Hedge, Imscar, Foil, Full Art, Cathodian Nightmare. Card looks great. You know what? I'm a little bit mad. I like Thomas Boxa. I think he's a really cool artist. I am mad that they did not have Jeff Lubinstein do at least one of the two arts for Cathodian Nightmare. You're going to functionally reprint Recurring Nightmare, which has one of the dopest arts in all of Magic's history. One of the most iconic, other than Show and Tell, Jeff Lubinstein arts in all of Magic's history. You're not going to ask the guy, you're going to have him do it? I might buy a Cathodian Nightmare and just have Jeff alter him. Oh. Got a Grim Servant stuck to the back. Oh, look, there's fucking two of them. Wrath of the Skies, Overclocked Electromancer, Jet Medallion, a Johnny, a Domri. Pile of cards. Evolution Witness, Sling Gang. Crabomination, Omo, Argent Dias, Flare of Duplication, Archway of Innovation. Bullshit. Swamp, Sling Gang, Galv, Sapphire, Infested Thrynax, Power Balance, Flares. Well, let's see. Foil Retro Ulamog. That is going to be a pretty penny. Fun little build around. I think Sapphire Medallion is going to be really good in Affinity. All of your cards that you want to play that don't have Affinity are blue. Makes Kappa cost one less. Taps to help cast Kappa. Yeah. So, it's an artifact that improvises. It makes all of your blue spells cost one less. Or Shifter, Flooded Strand, Brea, Laelia. I think that Sapphire Medallion is going to be good in Affinity. It effectively is free real estate when casting a Thought Monitor or a Thought Cast, because it costs one less because it's blue, and then it's an artifact for the count as well. So free real estate. Kozilek Foil, a Final Act, a Birthing Ritual, aka Birthing Pod that sucks, Subtlety, a Prismatic Ending, Full Art, whatever the fuck those are called, Special Guest. That art's actually, kind of mid. Cursed Mirror. I didn't even know that was getting printed in Modern. I've got one of those floating around. Grief. Oh, shit. Well, all right. So that's a Subtlety textured. I assume that the reason that I have 3 textured foils in this case is because I had a serialized in the last one. So, yeah. That's how I'm gonna justify that. Is that I don't have a serialized in this box. So I have another textured. Cram, Detectives Phoenix, Phyrexian Tower, Guide of Souls. Fun fact, Guide of Souls, giving you the life and the energy and everything like that. finally give Soul Sisters, like, something to do other than to just be bad 1/1s that gain you a bunch of life. So if you get enough energy in the damn deck, or you play enough dudes with the Guide of Souls out, you just make a bunch of them to angels, and then you have a beatdown clock. So there's that. Finally give Soul Sisters. Soul Sisters might finally be playable, and that goofy guy from Goldfish that is really annoying, has like the really annoying voice. Mutated cultist, sowing a deserted temple, windswept, and a kudo. He's got like that really fucking annoying voice, that one that makes you just want to punch him right in his face hole. That's bad at magic. He finally has a win condition for his shitty Soul Sisters decks. Or Spike. I've realized that, like, I said years ago, like, said almost a year ago, that I was gonna, like, be nice about everything on YouTube and whatnot, and I've just become like a jaded shitbag. Flooded Strand. Stone Idol, Generator, Guide of Souls, Volatile Stormdrake, Crick. You know what's done it? It's you guys. You guys have... My mic is on the floor. Don't worry, it's got a wire on it. We'll put it back. You know what did it, though? What, like, made me, like, jaded and basically just talk shit on everybody and hate everything is, you guys. Because I have this channel that I run now, and you guys don't interact with it, but I feel obligated to still make videos and content when I could just let this thing fucking die. And I would not... It would not piss me off to not do it. Hence why you guys haven't gotten a video in almost 2 months. Because I've had other stuff to do that's been more pressing and important. But like the lack of interaction on the videos, either with views or comments or likes or dislikes or anything like that, it kind of just... Like, I get it, I'm not Allie. I also work too much, and I enjoy having a sleep schedule that is even semi-regular, and a social life that is somewhat enjoyable. So I'm not going to make videos every fucking day. This is a fucking knife. God, some of these packs just suck. Oh, this was cute. Glaring Fresh Raker. While I have it in my hand, I just looked at Joe's article on Goldfish. The double... Sensei's Divining Top machine gun your opponent to death combo is fucking hilarious, and I want to pull it off at least once. So yeah, I'm going to dig through all of my commander decks from COVID and find all my Sensei's Divining Tops and put together that pile of shenanigans. Orm's Chains. Retro Fury, that's only cool if you're... Oh, shit! This is another one? It is. Fuck me running. We are 3 elementals and 3 planeswalkers textured. I gotta double check through this shit. Maybe I missed a textured foil in the first box. I don't know. I got a fucking Ulamog out of the first one. I don't give a shit. I'll figure it out while I'm listing cards, which is going to be all day tomorrow. I'm going to finish this rip. I'm going to put up this textured stuff and the stuff that's like super expensive. And then I'm going to piss off out of here. And then tomorrow is going to be a torture fest because I'm going to have to list all this stuff and then also pull orders and all kinds of stuff. We're just having a blast tomorrow. I just want to Baja blast my fucking brains out. I just miss like everything that I opened out of that pack because I'm thinking about this Growl that's textured. We had a foil retro Kozilek, the Silver Queen Lecturer, a Sage of the Maze, I think the Bloodstain, the Alila. I think those were the rares. I don't know. Run it back on the video. You'll figure it out. Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong. Ruby Medallion, Eldritch Immunity, Nadu, Wing Bitch, Volatile Stormdrake, Kalia the Vast, Retro. Jesus Christ. You mad about that pack? Fucking pile of bullshit. Ooh, Snow-Covered Waste, Abiding Grace, Ocelot Pride, Kaith, Maggots of the Moist, Psychofrog, Spymaster's Vault, Servo. Hege, Spawn Protector, Obtruse, Psychic Frog, Roshin. We are down to the last 4 packs. And in them is a Kudo, a March of Velasvel, Wooded Foothills, Party Thrasher, and Ugin's Binding. 3 packs. Fuck it. Give me another serialized card. Make this hilarious. Make me eat my words about how hard they were to open. Twins of Discord. That's cool. This thing, that thing, this thing, that thing. 2. Oh, there we go. Kozilek's Unsealing and a Null Elemental Blast in the same pack. Fuck me up. Wooded Foothills. Joyodo, a 6, a Recruiter, and a Foil Windswept. That pack was pretty decent. Alright, last pack. Then I'll zoom out. You'll look at my face. I'll talk some shit. Tell you guys how you all suck. If I belittle you, you'll have to come into the comments and fucking give me some shit back. We got a Birthing Ritual, aka Birthing Pod That Sucks. Aether Refinery, a Phidian Downpour, Kudo, and a Shill Gengar. That card's ass balls. Commander Chaff. All right. Oh my God. Please, please have enough room in this fucking box. I think it's going to be just too little, which is going to piss me off. Stuck with this. You know what? Fucking fan them out over the top, call it a day, close the damn box up, throw it under my desk, pretend that it doesn't exist. Figure it out later. Yeah. Alright. So, I have a stack of fucking tokens and basics that I don't want to deal with, but I will deal with. We ended up with not one, not two, but 3 textured planeswalkers. I'm going to get those up on TCG. And then 3 textured elementals. Get those up on TCGPlayer as well. And then this creme de la creme, the icing on the cake, the pièce de la résistance, Ulamog, the Defiler, 124 out of 250. I wish the number was something cooler, like 69 or, I don't know, 024, so there was 420 backwards. Oh, fucking 187. I don't figure it out. I wish it was a cooler number. It is what it is. I'm going to put it up on TCGPlayer. It'll sell. Somebody will buy it once I figure out how to list it. We only had 2 damage cards. I'm going to end up forgetting that they fucking exist. I'm trying to think what stuff is like the super nuts that I just need to like have on TCGPlayer like immediately. Like, better sell it now, because if I don't sell it now, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning and they're gonna be a third of the price, and I'm gonna kick myself. Probably a lot of the mythics. I should probably spend the time to list tonight before I leave. I think the fetches and whatnot can wait till the morning. And by morning, I mean when I get in, which is closer to the afternoon. But I think the mythics need to be just yeeted into the void that is TCGPlayer sooner rather than later. I think overall our spread on cards was really good. I don't think that we had like where we got way more of one thing than we did another, and like it's problematic, or the distribution is off or something of that sort. I think everything is pretty solid. So yeah, there's that. I think that the product is going to end up being very impactful on multiple formats. Clearly modern, because that's what it was printed for. But I think also Legacy and Vintage are definitely going to get shaken up a lot by it. I don't really pay attention to Pauper a whole lot because, let's be honest, it's a format that really doesn't matter. If it mattered, they would take care of it more often, and they don't. Then again, like, using that logic, they really don't care about a lot of the formats. But yeah, I think that we got a nice spread as far as cards to list, cards that'll end up being in the shop that people will buy, cards that that people will chase and whatnot. I think that the biggest and baddest of the whole lot was definitely the serialized Ulamog. I think it's going to be a heavy hitter. I might end up having to list that in one of the buy-sell trade groups on Facebook, given that TCGPlayer doesn't have a listing for it yet. So there's that. And again, from what I've heard through the grapevine, opening a serialized card out of this set is so damn hard to do that I don't even know what to price it at, is the problem. Like, I can't say that the card is worth $100 or $500 or $600 or $1,000 even, because I don't know, because there's no benchmark for it. I guess the benchmark is that you look at the... I know I'm not making eye contact with any of you fucks right now. You look at the other versions that are out there, aka the regular versions of these cards, and unfortunately the regular versions of these cards, there's no like, I don't think that that's gonna do it. Like, normally you could be like, well, the regular version of the card is $110, so the serialized version should be at like $250. Well, that is probably not the case if the serialized cards are this much of a pain to open. Like, if the serialized cards are that few and far between, from what I'm being told, as like 1 out of 16 cases, then, I mean, is that a $1,500 Ulamog? And now that I said that, does that sound crazy? Does it sound crazy to basically take the number on the card and put a 0 on it? Like, it's 124 out of 250. Is it a $1,240 card? It might be. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Couldn't tell ya. Put that flare in the wrong pile. This is why we go through all this stuff at the end of the vidya. Take a quick meandering peek at all this bullshit. See where everything is. Let's sell these fucking nether boys quick like a bunny. I don't even want to look at that card. That card's not good. Please buy them. Prove me wrong. Play the hell out of them. Convince me that card is good, because I don't think that it is. Oh, fucking close to a playset of... Oh, we do have a playset of them. One of them's full, though. That being said, I am going to end this video, because that was a big dead point, and I'm like grasping at straws on shit to say to you guys, and I think it's been long enough with me talking to you guys and doing videos and then not doing videos and then doing videos and then not doing videos. that, yeah, we can just say fuck it. Have a good day, and I'll see you when there's another product that's worth opening.